What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week, as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for February 9th through February 15th, 2023. In terms of new content for this week, we received the brand new Classique Broadway, which is actually a pretty nice classic car. I highly recommend checking out my customization video on it if you haven't already. I had a lot of fun building that car. And with that, we have about 5 drip feed cars left for this DLC. I wonder how long Rockstar is going to stretch this out for. I'm probably guessing till like April, so yeah, still a bit of a wait to go. Plus, we also have new clothing that was added as well. But anyways, the current prize ride for this week is the Obey 8F Drafter. This vehicle is primarily based on the 2018 Audi RS5 Coupe and has normal price of about $700,000. To get this vehicle for free, you have to place top 1, meaning first place, in a Pursuit Series race for 2 days in a row, which is actually very easy, only 2 days. If you don't own this car, I would highly recommend completing this challenge this week. You can easily do it with a friend and let each other win if you don't want to compete in public lobbies. In terms of performance, this car is in the sports class and is in top 20 for most tracks around the pace of the Schlagen GT, which is very impressive for what it is. In terms of the test drive vehicles for this week, we have the Remus, the Dominator ASP, and the Vector as well. And for next-gen console users, we have the HSW Astron Custom as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Now, in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Albany Roosevelt. This vehicle is primarily based on the 1928 Cadillac 341A Town Sedan, making it one of the oldest cars in the game, and has a normal price of $750,000. In terms of performance, it's in the Sports Classics class and is one of the slower ones in that class, which is to be expected for an older car like this. Plus, remember that this is the regular variant of the Roosevelt. The Valor is the one that actually has visual customization options. In terms of the dealership cars for this week, for luxury autos, we have the JB700W and the Mamba. And for Simeons, we have the Roosevelt Valor, the new Broadway, the Entity MT, the Zion Classic, and the Peyote Gasser as well. Moving on to the discounts, in terms of property discounts, we have 35% off the arcades, as well as 35% off the upgrades and renovations for it as well. This property is needed if you want to host the casino heist, so make sure to pick one up this week if you want to host that heist. Also, with this property, the arcade games are all 50% off this week as well. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 25% off the Entity MT this week. So for those of you who are holding off on buying it, maybe consider getting it this week. But honestly, with the slow handling flags and the poor handling in general, it's not really all that great of a car in terms of performance. So I would only recommend buying it if you like the way it looks. Next up, we have 35% off the Roosevelt Valor. I absolutely love the look of these 1920s cars. Plus, this one offers some pretty decent customization compared to the regular Roosevelt we saw on the podium, which has no visual customization. And lastly, we have 35% off the Peyote Gasser. So this car is in the muscle car class and isn't really all that great in terms of performance, but it does offer some decent customization, so I guess there's that. And that's it for vehicle discounts. Pretty surprising we only had 3 this week, which is similar to what we saw last week. So I'm guessing 5 cars or less on sale might be the new thing Rockstar is doing for these event weeks from now on. I guess we'll see, but that's what it seems like. In terms of login unlocks, we have the Valentine's Day Blazer and the Heartbreak Necklace as well. Now, I can't seem to find these in-game on my end, so they might be content that drops on Valentine's Day itself. I'm not sure what's going on, why I can't find them, but that seems to be the case. In terms of clothing discounts, most of the Valentine's Day clothing is 50% off this week. Moving on to weapon discounts, the Gusenberg Sweeper is free this week. In terms of triple money, we have triple money NRP on the Till Death Do Us Part Adversary mode, and triple money NRP on the Shotgun Wedding Deathmatch as well. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on the 6 new community jobs. Continuing, we have 1.5 times money on payphone hits from Franklin, which is pretty good. And lastly, diamonds are back in the casino heist with a 40% chance of getting them as your primary loot, which is awesome. Moving on to the Prime Gaming bonuses for Prime Gaming members only. So again, same as usual, we have the usual free $125,000 for logging in during the event week period. And if you log in before February 22nd with Twitch Prime linked, you'll be given the Twilight Painted Rabbit Mask. And lastly, this week's RC Bandito time trial is Cypress Flats. This week's normal time trial is Down Chiliad, which is one of the most difficult time trials, but if you're brave enough to do it, I highly recommend a Batty 801 or BF 400 for that one. If you rage easily, I would not recommend doing that one. In terms of the premium race for this week, we have the Supercar Race Senora Freeway. I highly recommend the Devest 8, Emerus, Krieger, or LM87 for that race. And if you're on Next Gen, I highly recommend using the HSW Devest 8 or the HSW Weaponized Ignis. And lastly, for Next Gen console users, the HSW time trial is Pacific Bluffs. As always, the HSW Hakachu Drag will be the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, even though there's only 3 vehicles on sale this week, I'm going to have to go with the Roosevelt Valor. I personally love these vintage cars from that era, and the fact that this car actually offers some great visual customization is a big plus. Love these cars. The Entity MT would probably be my second choice, but there's just so many things wrong with that car that's why I didn't pick it. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this event week, I would say, is actually pretty good compared to last week, which was an absolute dumpster fire. That event week was probably the worst we've had in a long time. But this one, you know, a brand new car, a property discount, some vehicle discounts, even though we didn't get that many. And of course, the diamonds, you know, it's actually pretty good. Not bad. About time. I'm sure probably next week it's going to be terrible. And the week after that, it's good again. I wouldn't doubt it at this point. Now, the thing that concerns me is the vehicle discount thing. I mean, I've been seeing a trend recently with the event weeks where Rockstar's been doing like 5 or less vehicles on sale every event week, so that might be the new norm. We're going to have to wait and see, but that's definitely what it seems like to me, which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah, I guess Rockstar probably wants you to log in more often to get more vehicle discounts. And for those of you who didn't know, Rockstar actually patched the Taxi God Mode glitch. However, a workaround was immediately found. So, yeah, I would still be very cautious in public sessions. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.